Okay, let's feel shitty today. Natural element. Highly curious of how I think today. Well, it's like the turning off thing. The critical thinking. I mean, when life gets real, I mean, it's hard to shut down these primal forces. See, it's really easy for me to give you an advice, right? It's really hard to take that same advice and apply it.
It always is.
But
Miguel and Reagan shows.
Yeah,
Shouldn't
apparently,
say that for some do, right?
yeah, apparently we're humans.
We should learn to consume our own advice.
Oh, I should.
I should. I give a lot of good advice and then everyone give all of it.
I have a fair share of damage in that.
Yeah.
But yeah, as the day goes along, I mean, it sinks in because I'm the wiring of me to do the right thing is so ingrained, so it will take over. It's like when it's murky at first and you don't do something yet. That's why I want to do a talk to
Yeah.
because at least you get to parse information and yeah, talk to you. Like you could converse better with a person, and also a rating person. It helps.
I think the great thing is a lot of people don't believe in them. You gotta prove it. So you come up with a good thought and you're like, yeah, I thought this, this, and that. And they'll say, oh, that doesn't work.
Until
you prove it. So that's the only down part. You have to prove it.
the hard part with proving is sometimes to prove it, it takes years.
And that's the thing too. Sometimes you can't prove it right now. It's not a whole process.
That's quite hard for people to parse. And yeah, I mean, despite you were able to like see it in history, in the great scientific literature, and you're like trying to explain it in a way it should be unbiased, impartial, with other layers of your personal history or experiences in it. People still, if they're not highly open to ideas, it will be difficult for them to like perceive the idea. So that's the sad part.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's how we build society in a way. I mean, it takes an Elon Musk or it takes a Joe Rogan to like smash it in the face of like reality for most.
It's almost think not because in most cases they'll probably turn around and Google it and they say, I'm starting to realize other people, you may know something like fucking days. I know this and that and that. And they're like, oh, I don't believe you. They'll go Google it. They rely on Google now. And if it's not on Google, then it can't be true. That's just how the world's turning out. Like it has to have something fed to it. It's what fed, they can't believe it.
Fascinating, huh?
It's like they don't have the ability to think outside the box.
That's good.
Look at things differently and to just do whatever society is selling.
In a way, society is harmonized because not all people are like crazy thinkers. Some just follow, or most just follow the crazy ones.
Yeah, usually. And I think that's why when I was talking today, I had such a following had people behind me because the crazy mind followed me.
Yeah.
But this time around when I do it, I don't want a lot of following. It's weird. Right? And I probably don't want a lot of people following me again.
That's it's like a Pareto principle.
That's a distraction in itself for me to think when you have a mind at work and realizing what to do, because that's why I kind of fall back at home for a bit to see that I need to sleep. I need to get out. There's a lot of things that I need to keep my brain going. I'm getting headaches more and more and realizing that's because of this lack of sleep and my brain is constantly doing this thing. So, great thinkers, they need their space. They need their space. They cannot write it down on a paper in a classroom, sitting in a desk with a bunch of people. No, great thinker needs to walk away outside and be in nature and get his head and go like a mad time to come out there. That's what I figured.
The thing is, the movie fed us that it's like great thinkers, like they thought there's no process behind it, there's no like rest process behind it, or like a diet
process behind it. It's like I go on catching quite a few shots with playing Tour, and I'm catching these shots, and I'm just like, look at that. I'm finally doing what I always want to do, and I see the shot in my head, I know the location where to get the shot from, and I go and execute. And it's just like, it's
confirmatory.
Yeah. I got that thinking, I can see the image before I create it, and then I go create it. So you know what? Then we work on that more, and we enforce that more. So then I don't really edit, and now I'm really messing with it, and it's like, hey, I'm getting somewhere with it.
Post-production.
Yeah, all of this is now I'm finally trusting myself. Finally looking at it like, hey, everybody tells me about this big slide, this big top.
The octopus removing the lid.
Yeah.
From
So now it's just like, since everybody can see
good.
it, let me see it for myself.
To get the crab inside and like
Taste
taste it. Interesting. I mean, but you see, you have to be, there's a process behind the layers that you just said. You have to be there and then visualize. And then, oh, this is a good job?
It has to be complicated. If it's not complicated, I don't want to do it. That don't make sense. When I was in school, I was a straight A student year 10 called accounts. Year 11 and 12, I could choose accounts. And I never chose it because it was too easy. And I was like, that's kind of stupid now. I was like, I should have chosen it. And I had point, at least one A in there for sure. Set. But I didn't take it because it was too easy. And I understood it too well. And I learned something I couldn't understand. I didn't. This I realized now. I didn't realize that then. Just couldn't figure it out then.
I mean,
now I know why it makes sense. Okay. That's why I didn't take accounts, because I was always up for chapter. And I always stayed in classes that were challenging.
that's
So the motto this year, I just forget the motto going forward. Is it pink in the corner? Right in the middle. No, it's pink.
me, it's like the way I do things. Even this talks, this blog post, writing, working, life in general, staying healthy, exercising, karate, jiu-jitsu, I try to map it with a story, which is related to how it has been the case for centuries, for history itself. So it's like a mythological story that I just based from what we have from way back when history started. A heroic story from the myths. The precondition for the hero is the fool. He starts dumbass, grab some ideas and like try to build on it, and then he fortifies himself, and then the comedic side would be there's a happy ever after at the end. But it's like the process is more important than the end. So that's how I try to like integrate everything. That's why people are asking me sometimes, why do I work like this? Or why do I talk like this? Because for me, there's no distinction with work or like personal stuff in the way I talk or the way I do things. Because for me, it's the same. It's part of that story.
I think we said that is the process and result. I think it's like that. I want to know the result. Now I'm kind of wondering how you got there. So I want to add this to it. The reason why I want to know versus just the result. Some of it will go to the answer. And just keep it. Because you did the work, you didn't do it, you get someone to do it where it wasn't. This is the answer. If you believe in the result, all you want to do is make the answer and Google it.
Google it.
But what you should do is work with the process. Because how they got to your answer tells you who they are. That's my new thing. I used to only really concerned about the result. What's the result? Give me the answer. Anybody will tell you now. At that point, you can't learn one thing. I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to hear what you want. Show me.
And to add to that process, I mean the process, the neurological science behind it, we have a wiring that records or encodes everything that we do, from simple movements, thinking even, auditory, visual, taste, smell. We have a reward system for it. If something we don't like the taste, like the smell, we don't like the certain color.
I think every talk, this is just how good I used to do talk, just get.
So let me get. So it's like dopamine is the neurotransmitter that like captures what we perceive as something. It doesn't necessarily mean good or bad, because something bad could be perceived also by the dopamine transmitter to like, oh, I don't like this, I should record it as I don't like it. Or if you like a certain angle from a photography shot, oh, I love this certain angle, I'm gonna record it. Next time, this guy or this position,
in brain recording it?
it's neurons.
Okay.
Neurons. So it's like this is the central wiring, right? But the thing is, the brain system is like distributed all throughout the body, because we still have to feel pain. We still have to move. So the brain should be able to communicate it well. So that's why when I'm doing the martial arts thing, they want us to like take 5,000 punches to create just one clear shot. Because that's the amount of like repetition you need to like really drill a really good punch. So it works the same for photography. It works the same even much farther. Ideas. If you feed yourself bad ideas, that's tricky.
I train my brain to be a remember. That's like it just remembers. It's constant. Everything that it takes in, it's logging somewhere. It's not important today. 5 years down the line, stuff comes up and my mind will hit you when I get it. He said, "We'll talk to me for long." And do 3 to 5 days, pull it right up in my mind. Go, yeah, I did. Kind of thing.
It's a trained, yeah. It's a trained behavior.
We used to be in the box in my mom's car, and we had this game where we would pass. He had a book, I had a book. And each time we passed, we remember like, it's a break room. And we were planting most likely this number, and we winner, whatever it was, I don't remember what it was.
Oh, okay.
We had those places with me. I always had the most place because I pushed to see them further, I pushed to read them quicker, and I pushed to remember them.
How many?
Even after they passed, I could remember what I saw.
How many more plate numbers did you?
I can't.
But you normally want.
It was always, no matter how much time you did, it was always more. It was always more. And he used to think I was making them up. And then one day we were driving, I was like, I'm not going to make them up. I'm just going to read them what I box. And I started reading them all. He's like, how can you see that? How can you see that? How can you see that? Like, you wear glasses, I don't. Don't have to know I can't see you.
I mean, that's a hard question to answer. I mean, you're born with it.
I'm going to get a part, right?
So, yeah, I mean, how do you?
The remembering part
that's
is by writing down numbers over and over.
It's a training thing.
Remember, we did this on page, next page. You get down in the book one day, like, so that's a bit of I saw this a bit like a few years ago, and I just go back and look through it. See, then I saw it back. So I could see the number and remember. So that's what kind of made me want to be a police. But then I was like, I at even that good, or step on people's toes and piss everybody off. So I'm not going to do that. Yeah. Because if I ain't pissing off,
that is a real.
if I ain't doing it with police work, pissing the police officers off inside of the department, I'm pissing all the good people that know outside off. By the knowledge I have. You know, so I was like, I'd never do it. Plus, they will really pay us down here for that. And they know what else has been you do. Really
It's tricky, right? When you're doing public service, I mean, or you're, yeah, I mean, and it's in a small island.
Precision is the only reason I really think I wanted to fly was for precision, because it just, to me, it's just certain jobs you just can't get wrong.
And
Just can't get them wrong.
That is one of them.
That was one of them. You can't get that wrong. 90%, or I think it's 98% of plane crashes have all been related to pilot error. Very few, it's a team fault or mechanic fault.
That's
a big 90%, I can't remember what 90 is, but it's in 90.
Human error.
It's human error. And it's like, yeah, that's one error you just cannot make a mistake. And the jobs that you can't make mistakes in is the jobs I want. Okay, it's me pushing everything out to make that mistake. Me gotta be constant on myself and watching. So that's why when I was at Park Body, I used to tell them, he makes no mistakes. I can't correct him on mistakes he don't make. And I was like, my job is not to make any, that's what he told me. So that's why I'm here to push, not to make a mistake. I keep trying to tell people, I don't try to be perfect, I really don't. I was raised with somebody that believes she is, and believes that perfection is possible for most.
I just tried the numbers on my error rate before.
There is. I don't believe that anything's impossible except one thing. Perfection. That's impossible.
I have to agree with it. I mean, it's
it's
crazy, right? But people aim for it.
You can aim for it, you can get close to it, you'll never be it.
But, okay, let me rephrase. People are like alluded to it.
No, because they got close to it. And because they get close to it, they feel like they made it.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And you haven't made it.
It's like,
if you get close to it, you'll never be perfect. It'll never happen. You're going to do something.
It's like an illusion that they think they have.
Even if you don't do dirt.
Yeah, that's
even
it.
if you're a straight, clean person, you don't do dirt. You're still not perfect, but you're still doing something wrong.
It's crazy, right?
You know what that is? Give it.
Breathing.
Breathing. There's no such thing as
At the end of the
one
day,
thing that is not possible. Nobody can achieve it because the good God himself didn't achieve it. You know that? He said so himself in the Bible. He never achieved it. So there's no such thing as perfect. You get close to it, you should be very neat, very set right, you can have millions and billions of dollars, you can have every no such thing as perfect. Because if there is, there'd be at least one person living it right now.
or like Christ didn't need to die for us.
They did that.
Yeah, he didn't need to like take all of our sins.
So this is why I can give you an example what logical convenience means and how everybody should apply it. Somebody a few months back was telling me the world was flat. I've had this argument in years. And it's like, speaking, I don't want to bust you, but I'll show you why the world is not flat. Take this table as the world. Draw the whole world on this table, right? Draw the whole world on it, so it's a flat.
It's a flat map, yeah.
Then you got the whole world, so you got America, South America, the whole world is on Asia, flat. Take this is the sun. When the sun comes up and gets up here, call this midday at 12 o'clock, this is midday. Everybody will be eating up lunch. If the world was flat, if it got to midday, the sun would be on top of the world. Everybody, there's a day and there's a difference. If the world was flat and the sun was shining on the top, in the whole world, you have lunch now.
You do know the repercussions of your discussion, right? Flat earthers will kill us.
The sun is shining at noon. They're top of the flat world. This is your flat world. You said the world was flat right here. This is your flat surface. Here's the sun shining. America, South America, Asia, Africa, Caribbean,
That's so weird, man.
North America, the North Pole, South Pole, all got like everybody has like
Good morning.
Good morning.
you can even get good morning. Everybody has it. Are you sure it's 12 o'clock now? Then Americans eat lunch, and the French eat lunch, and the Chinese eat lunch, and Australians eat lunch, and Canadians.
Are there a lot of flat earthers here too? But it's like, I mean, I didn't know that it's a thing.
People that believe the world is flat have a flat.
Oh.
They have a flat brain because at the end of the day, then it would be, you couldn't sail, if the world was flat, you couldn't sail from California to Australia. Because you go round. You're not going around.
At least we made you smile.
Yeah. But the Wednesday. You do something,
Sasha.
You can do something like this. You leave down the road, you go down to the south, and then you leave down around. And you don't, because when you leave California, go straight across the fucking ocean to Australia. So that's how the world is flat. And the next way you do that is if you left London and you flew a direct straight line to New York, you travel further than if you left London and took a curve up the North Pole and flew back. You'd take 3 or 4 nautical miles and you go. So funny.
Yeah,
You went further up north, you came back down, you like less miles than you did when you went across the Atlantic.
But it's like,
Where is it flat? Those who think it's flat, their dream is flat. That's like evolution with apes. I don't believe it because
oh, interesting. Okay.
then Moses couldn't have lived to 600. Then the apes did. Oh, it just took 5 million years for this to turn into a man. Can you tell me there's not one that's 4,999,999 years old today who's turning to 5 million tomorrow that's going to be leaving the bananas in the tree to jump in this car and walk to pick up bananas? Tell me that doesn't happen. It's not. Ape to ape, human to human. We have similarities that are characteristics the same. Don't make us apes.
The thing is,
It just doesn't. I don't believe it. It can't. Because they've got
oh,
other things.
dude, it's not from the apes to the. I'm gonna go technical a bit.
Okay.
So,
Caveman.
no. It's actually we came from one same branch and then became apes, chimpanzees, bonobos. But that same branch is different.
Okay. So this is what you're telling me. And it still makes it different. Mercedes-Benz built cars its whole life. And recently they built a pickup truck.
Okay.
When you connect it all back to the beginning of time, it started at the Mercedes-Benz factory. We built one car. Now we have variety. We just variety from one solution, one source.
That's apparently.
And that's great. And you know what I'm just going to call that source? And kill the whole argument. And then, okay, who wants to fight me? We call that source God. We were created by one source. And then it was branched off. He took one bit and made new one. Who's to say he could take the next one to make eight? There's so much planets in this world, and everybody believes on the earth.
Yeah. Fascinating, man.
I don't believe it's on the awesome planet, but I don't know say I believe there is a life form outside the planet. I do believe so.
Intelligent life form is the question. If there is.
I do believe, and if aliens are real and the stories about abducting people are real, then it goes to show us that we're stupid because every time they steal us, they bring us back. They're not keeping us.
I mean, there are things.
They're not taking nobody. They think this is intelligent, we're not keeping us.
There are things that we can't really explain. So, like this, I don't know if we discussed the stone ape theory. Stone ape theory.
Question.
And she's laughing at that. Have you heard that?
Both of you wearing sunglasses, guys.
It's to hide the eyes.
puppy.
Yeah. You should learn that when you're doing video early in the morning.
I don't care.
Oh, yeah. The subtle art of not giving a F. She mentioned.
That's a good book.
Yeah, she loves it.
I was supposed to buy that one, did.
Stone ape theory. Okay. There is a case why when we branched out, some of that first of this branch ended up. See, we're gatherers. We're not hunters yet, except for chimpanzees who have been like observe to attack other colobus monkeys and then eat them.
Okay.
So there are like primates that like hunt, except for that case. So we may be hunters also. But the thing is, when the evolutionary branch, I think it's Australopithecus because it's the right term for that animal, trace animal that we branched out. So there's a theory that the Neanderthals, the Homo erectus, the Homo sapiens initially got a higher advantage because they were able to like consume while foraging mushrooms with psilocybin in it. And mushrooms have been eternally forever. Some could kill us, but there are mushrooms that could really trigger neurological pathways. We go now to like neurons.
Yeah, it's a drug. People use it as a drug these days.
And why this argument by Terence McKenna is so compelling. Dude, some mushrooms, when you consume it, even if you're like a non-believer, you're going to believe in things.
That's probably what a lot of people like to use the word as
And it's like, how do we depart from the idea that certain things, when we consume, makes us believe into something, similar to a religious experience? Isn't it maybe that we evolved a religious experience because it's a theory, okay? That we got the religious experience from like consuming things and triggering a neurological pathway that became like giving us advantage over this group, able to like build tribes, a smaller tribal society, and like hunt in more divine patterns, more subtle sounds, and communicate.
I just think if you took everybody back 500 years ago from birth and put them out in the wilderness, by the time they got 40, 50, they'd be living in a village because we're designed to survive. A lot of people can't do it because technology.
Oh,
everything's there.
yeah, definitely.
So,
but if we're gonna be asked if we have those characteristics, I
why
still
don't
believe
you
that we
take
still.
the alien into it? Because there's paintings and drawings that go far from life that include caving, but don't include apes. So this theory is so true. There should be paintings and documentaries of it. There should be something. And another way I can kill it is when there was dogs and back in the day, they were going, what kind of dog do you? Every dog that you have today is made off.
Oh, yeah.
Like the other dog by genetic grading you put together. Well, who's to say that someone didn't genetically put an 8-man together one day?
And
way
then
back in the
environment
day,
also let them change.
where Bigfoot would possibly come from. People have been experimenting with these things from
Forever.
decades of time, from before they were even labs.
Yeah, that's what we call natural selection.
Right? So with all that put together, I don't believe it. I don't. And it keeps very hairy. Not a lot of hair. Unless you know, shade, you've been living in the woods for years, and that could be it too. Could have just been somebody back in the day who was a hairy person. And there was no power, no scissors, no nothing to cut. Lived in the woods and he put all his hair, and he looked like a freaking ape. But he was human. Oh, you could have been turned into a worm. No, he's just somebody that back in the day with no barbershop, couldn't shave. So his hair is long, because it's why everybody in the Bible, they had long hair. In long way. Too much human form to say monkeys rule the earth, but then again, when you really look at politics, it's almost like monkeys do rule the earth.
But the thing is, what's fascinating with this
Alright, I agree with theory in one sense. Anything that turned in from an ape to a man, it's politics. Yeah. And any ape that turned into a man.
Let's see why we can't. Well, there's traces of it, but it's like what's amazing with the human experience compared to the other mammalian hyper-evolved. I mean, other primates. See, they do their societies. They have structures of like who is leading and who's following. but they use power to do it more. But the thing is, with us humans, I might be wrong with that. Okay. It has been observed with apes, chimpanzees, that the way some of them use power to like maintain societies, it crashes down. And it has been observed also with humans.
But there's nothing more powerful than God.
And
that's what anybody that tries to play that power role will always be shot down. And you need to understand that. If you're going to be the power role, you are the power role in his shadow, not your own path.
And that's
and
like a
people
real
fail to realize that.
And that is a real world story in itself.
You are a powerful person in his shadow, not on your own path. And a lot of people have their own path and they're powerful. Those people always lose.
Because you draw the attention, right?
Yeah.
People.
So, even if he was out there, he wanted to do more powerful things, he'd always lose because hello, who created you? It's the same person that created me. So whether you came from an ape or you were born a human being, God created the whole fucking world. So that's why I was coming back to the emergency events theory when they started eating or whatever it was. That's your source. So regardless if this set of apes turned to men 10,000 years later, and this set were men from the start, God created us both. That's my argument. I don't believe in ape because we still got apes today and we still got humans today. And we still got humans catching apes and putting them in front of cages. So there's no way he's human being. There's no way, it don't make sense. If you look at it logically, it just doesn't make no sense logically. It just doesn't. Why are you still going to come here?
That statement is like a hyper-abbreviated explanation of natural
selection.
selection.
Not one as a pet. If he was more human, like he'd have been, I'll drive you far, Michael. I'll pick you up. Oh, he's a monkey. He's no fucking banana, he runs in the tree. You know? Life's very simple, and a lot of people make it very complicated by throwing these stupid ideas into the public.
I mean, it's easier to get ideas. Google.
I guess it's easier to see the world flat because then when you go to draw it, it makes your art real.
Mm-hmm.